Good evening, gentle listener, and welcome to Distractible. This episode, Blue's Clues Bob summons shit for Wade, complains about teeth, and plays muse to his mates. Wherely Wade watches bent trees get blown, is romantic, and becomes Slug Starlin. Magician Mark returns to his kingdom, gets buggered by Apcost, then witnesses rabbits and sperm slaughter. From fecal feasts to hidden distractible history. Yes. It's time for What Song Do You See? Now sit back and prepare to be distracted and enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome back to what I can only assume is your favorite thing in the entire world, and by that definition also your favorite podcast. This is Distractible. I am your host for today. My name is Bob. I'm the host because I won the last one. I'm joined by my two co-hosts / competitors, Mark and Wade.
Woo!
Oh.
Editors put a raucous crowd behind me. Not behind me, like just cheering.
Or then blow Mark up.
No!
Ah, classic.
I don't know why the only thing I can think of as my background is that guy from SpongeBob saying, "How many times we gotta teach you this lesson, old man?" But
You know that, but you don't know the chocolate guy from SpongeBob.
oh yeah.
Okay. Never seen Distractible before. The host comes up with some kind of topic. There are points that are given out that matter a little, not that much. They don't mean anything. They're arbitrary. And then someone wins. Whoever wins hosts the next one. That's the whole thing. And before we get into that part, which I'm excited because I feel like I have a good one today, which means it's probably going to be a complete dumpster fire and absolute piece of shit because that's how it always goes. We do small talk. Let's go, guys.
I'm back home.
Yeah, that looks like a familiar place.
Yes, it's not a green screen. Don't look. I can touch it.
Go walk through that door, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Wearing a green shirt, using a green screen, it's so brave of you.
Mark Skidoo, we can too.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, you have Blue's Clues fans?
It's been a very long time. Like a very long time.
That's fair. If you were still actively watching Blue's Clues, I guess today, that would be weird. Is it weird?
Nah, man.
Blue's Clues was a great time. That's back when Steve wasn't played by Jack Black. But
Damn.
I like Jack Black. I just know people are like, the same thing happened with like Chris Pratt. It's like the same actor gets a bunch of roles. Everyone's like, oh, this guy again. Granted, I guess he is supposed to be playing like a younger man.
Who is? What are we?
Jack Black is playing Steve in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah, I know that. But is Steve a younger man? Is that canonically? Is there lore behind who Steve is?
I don't know, man, but apparently there's been like a lot of like people that are like, there's at least a vocal minority that are like, Steve should be young.
So that's probably fair.
Doesn't he have a beard though?
In the game?
He has like a Fu Manchu. He has like a bottom chin beard thing.
I've not seen Steve in so long because I have my own skin.
Anyway, how you doing, Wade? Hey, the Bengals won, huh? Right? That's gotta be good for you.
Man, the offense the last few weeks really starting to click. The defense. So there was a hurricane. Unhappier news.
God dang.
No, it's been pretty bad. I know a lot of people, hopefully by the time this comes out, people are in a better shape. But man, living all the way up in Ohio and having it hit, I don't know what it was like for you, Bob. I'm interested to hear what it was like for you guys. But the wind was pretty scary here. We have some tall trees, and watching them go from like this direction, I'm holding my hands horizontally, to vertically to horizontally the other direction was kind of wild. And we had a tree, it didn't even break, just somehow the wind gusted so hard that the root system was taken out of the ground and the dirt came up and the roots came up and the tree landed. I mean, the tip of one of the branches was like a few inches from our door, and that's like where Molly's office and our bedroom and stuff are. So it was like we were within like 2 feet of having some.
I thought you were gonna say that's where we go in and out of the house of.
That's where we leave. That's how we get out for the dogs. Well, really, that is how we take the dogs out. So we had to start going through the garage to let the dogs go out. But they we got someone out to help take care of it pretty quickly. Luckily, they're like, we might not be able to be there quickly if there's like an emergency. And we're like, that's fine. Take care of emergencies first. And they still showed up the next day. So I'm guessing hopefully that means there wasn't too much bad stuff around. I don't know.
Up here is not bad. I can't believe what's happening in Eastern Tennessee, North Carolina's.
It's very bad there. You see the road that's just like gone now? I-40.
Did you see the actual whole town that's gone?
No, I did not see that.
If you look at a picture, there's a little town where it's like there's a picture of the main drag and there's like stuff on both sides of the road, and there's a new picture of it. The road is all just like exploded into chunks, and there are no buildings. I can't believe how bad it was for that part of the country.
Yeah, that's not Asheville, but have you seen the flooding pictures of Asheville? That's very strange because we just drove through that on the way back. We were going around the country after, the last sprint of the movie, and we were through that town, and we weren't staying there, but we were staying up near there. But I'd never been to Asheville before, and then suddenly it's underwater, and I'm like, isn't this up in the mountains? And it makes sense as to what happened because I think there was a dam nearby or something like that.
There were like several dams that failed and or partially disintegrated, or I don't know, dam failure.
It's one of those things where, one dam up higher, if it fails, all of a sudden that dam's amount of water hits this other dam and it was never meant for that. And it just, it can cascade like that. I think that's what happened anyway.
Yeah, I've not seen all that, but it was crazy here, and here it was nothing like it was like down there.
It was really not that bad for us here, but we're in a pretty good spot for wind. Our neighborhood is kind of on a hill, and we're not at the bottom or the top, so we're kind of insulated. On Friday, we're sitting in the family room hanging out. My parents actually came to town for the weekend, and we were hanging out, and like it was really windy, and we saw across the street our neighbor had just got a trampoline, and we literally saw the trampoline do that thing they do in like videos online where it just went woo way up high and then landed upside down in the next neighbor's yard over. And so we were like, it was windy and we were kind of like, wow. And then that happened and we were like, holy fuck. Oh, I should take the chairs in off the porch or something.
Yeah, watching trees bend the way they did, and like there was constant cracking, just limbs and stuff coming down all the time.
No, you have like tall old trees around your house. I grew up. The house I grew up in is near a wooded area that's a lot like where you are. It's crazy when that happens. I remember that hurricane that blew up into Ohio and like knocked power out when we were in like college-ish times, like 2011 or something. I forget what hurricane it was. I was at home at my parents' house when that happened, and those trees literally, like you're saying, it's like freaky how bendy they are. Can't imagine what everyone else where actually bad stuff happened.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had it like relatively mild too.
And I mean, I'm glad the tree didn't hit your house. That, you know what? That's worth a point. No house tree point.
With all the house stuff we have going on at all times, it was nice to dodge one for once.
Now that you said that, definitely shit bubbling up somewhere in your house.
That noise in the hallway happened just now. And I was like, my God, you're right.
Just from out of your keyboard, just go, like, it doesn't even make sense. How you doing, Mark?
Good. Back to YouTube. There's a plan in place, big old plan that I was talking about for, good, Edge of Sleep, October 18th, that's happening.
That's my birthday. Thanks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Planned it just for you.
God, I love when you guys remember each other's birthdays.
There's probably other things that I could remember, but I won't. I refuse to, tactically.
I just like the image of you trapped in an unair-conditioned warehouse with no other humans around by yourself for extended periods doing whatever you were doing in there.
That was what it was. And what's funny is like, because you texted me the other day with the assumption that I told you like crowds were weird to see again. You were like, oh, you just Phil? And at first I didn't get what you were saying. And then I was like, oh, Phil. And then I realized like you didn't realize I was completely alone.
No, yeah, I thought you at least had like Phil there or like a person or a couple people. It was literally just you, huh?
Yeah, it just so happened that when we were recording, Eric, Phil's friend, was by to feed and water the bugs. And so, yeah, that was just a coincidence. Every other time, it was just me alone in that warehouse, going slowly insane.
This is a throwback that probably most people won't get. I don't even know if YouTube will get. You remember the show Lost?
I've never seen it, but sure.
Okay, well, I think the character's name was Desmond. Basically, he lived in a bunker and he woke up every day, had to go press a button to stop like the island from blowing up, and that was his life. He lived in this locked bunker and all he did was get up, make sure this button was pressed. He was completely alone. He would like have his coffee, press the button, sit around, press the button, go to bed. I imagine that's what Mark's life was like.
Yeah, you were just pressing one button, right? And then nothing.
You're goddamn right. So there's something about being alone and working on something is great. Because there was this one time, though, I wished to all hell I could just press one button, which was the record button. Because I was getting some inserts and stuff and pickup shots. It's things that tie a lot of things together. And, other things that I can't talk about. But
inserts to be taller?
Well, actually, if my limbs were longer, maybe I could have reached it. But I was, because I have to do everything myself. So I'm sitting there. I have a lob that's like behind my back, under my shirt, stuck up here. I had a boom arm here to capture, and then I was like sitting, and there's there's some movie magic occurring off to my left that is very delicate and I can't touch, and it's held up by sticks, glue, and hope, and it's just floating there. And I sit there and I'm like, all right, it's all good. And I look over to my right and I realize the camera is like just far enough away that I can't reach it. And I'm tied in with all these wires because the window with which the movie magic is occurring is like so narrow that if I move, everything is pushed in around just off screen of the camera. And so I get up and I'm like, I hope the worst doesn't happen. Worst happened. All the movie magic to my left just started collapsing. Oh, God.
Why didn't you use a selfie stick? Is that what they use for movie magic? Selfie sticks?
Well, that's when okay, so this is another thing. So Red, right? They have this app to control the camera, right? And you can record from that app, right? Well, I looked on the app store of the iPad because I was like, oh, maybe I could monitor at the same time. And there was a $500 app. The app is $500.
For just an app that like connects to the thing over Wi-Fi or something?
Yeah, and so you can monitor it. It connects to the camera's own Wi-Fi, stuff like that. And so I had not paid for that until that moment of that all occurred, because I'm like, God, it would have been worth it just because like this saved me all this setup. It's going to take me an hour to set all this back up and it'll be useful in the future. Paid for it, opened it, and then I was like, okay, cool. I don't want to set on my iPad. Maybe I can download it on my iPhone instead as well. I bought it, so I was like, it could work. There's a free app on the iPhone.
Oh no! Insert that meme of that monkey in Planet of the Apes. Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, and so it's like it has less functionality, but one of the functions of it is you could press the record button, which is all I needed. Although it was very useful to be able to see what the camera was seeing from a distance. That did prove useful, but through $500 for an app is a tall order. That might be the most expensive app I've ever paid for.
That's harsh. Well, and I'm sure some people out there are shitting their pants hearing that, but from an outsider's perspective, who mostly learns about this through Mark, I can tell you out there, you would not want to hear how expensive some of this shit is that Mark has probably had to buy or rent to make this movie happen. Holy fuck, is movie making shit expensive. It's unbelievable. That's not even an expensive purchase in the world of film. That's probably, I can imagine you said you saw the $500 and part of you was like, oh God, and the other part of you was like, pfft.
Compared to a dedicated system that like plugs into your camera, feeds video to another device that plugs into a monitor, that can cost like $2,000 easily. So if you have an iPad already and it's like there, it doesn't make sense and you get more control. But honestly, it was just like, oh man.
That's a kick in the teeth, though.
But it's still fun. It's a fun challenge. I did enjoy it a lot, but less when I had to do things like that.
But you just run outside and been like, help, filming, help me.
Yeah, the last thing I want to call out to is, hello, strangers of this neighborhood. I have lots of expensive stuff in here. You want to see my secrets?
So sign this NDA and enter my home.
You criminal, you respect NDAs, right? Yes.
You're not in the same spot. I was going to say you could get that person whose dog you tried to steal, but I doubt you're in the same spot.
I'm the criminal there. Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's something else that happened to me, but mainly the thing is James sleeps by himself this week. I don't know if it's going to last, but oh my God, we're making progress on the sleep training and it's a miracle.
He's so big now. He's like so human and runs around and stuff. Whenever you guys came over to watch the football game, it was wild.
No, he's a menace. He's smart enough now to really cause problems and really do some dangerous shit, and he loves it. He's good though. His speech is developing. He's doing 3-word sentences now. He's working on more.
He was sweet. It was really awesome having him and Milo over. It's wild seeing like the progressions of baby.
Yeah, Milo compared to James was a crazy reminder of how far he's come. Because Milo, for anyone who doesn't know, Milo is Patrick Static's child and is 6 months younger than James, I think. Not that far apart, but also basically two entirely different creatures because the development in that time is crazy.
In the first few years, 6 months is a long time.
That's true. It's still like over a quarter of his life, and it's a third of Milo's life, I guess. So that's a lot.
I was like, man, oh man, I don't know how y'all can keep up because he's fast too.
Yeah, he's very fast. You know when he's real fast? When he sees the ocean. I think I talked about this, but man, is he fast when he decides he's going into the ocean. Oh, I turned 35 soon. This month, on the same day that the Edge of Sleep comes out. That's my 35th birthday.
Oh, congratulations. You'll love it. And it's my best year. I don't know. So far, I haven't been 35 that long.
That might be true. Yeah, no, I believe that. It's been crazy.
It could be. Wait, what's wrong?
Another lost reference. We got to go back.
You got the 35-year-old twitches going on?
Dude, I don't know. 35 is the age. I don't know what happened to me, but it's the age where everyone thinks I'm a lot older than I am. Like, I always looked a little bit older, but this is the year where I go to get, like, my hair cut, or I go to do this or do that, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm only 40. I'm not even close to where you're at yet. It's like, I'm 35!
Who says that? Man, that's so rude. Oh, they look at you. Holy shit! Thank fuck I'm 50. Oh my god.
You're walking up some stairs and someone is like, oh God, sir, hold the handrail. Here, take my arm. Your hips.
You're not wearing your life alert. This could be dangerous. Someone call the museum. A mummy escaped.
Are you guys aware of the band Alkaline Trio? They formed in 1996.
I'm familiar with them, yes.
So we went to an Alkaline Trio concert the other day. They've been around a while, so they don't have like the youngest audience, right? They're a little bit older. They're closer to our age. I went there, and I swear to you, I did not see anyone at that concert who looked older than me. And I'm not old.
That's an interesting milestone, though. Oldest man at concert.
You know, this is what we got to do. This is like a challenge. We need to figure out a way to make you look younger. Like, how could we age max you? How could we just
die? Just some dye in the beard.
Oh, I thought you said die as in death. I'm like, wait, hold on now.
Kill me. Let me also say, at the ripe young age of 35, standing on concrete for 4 hours, not as easy as I thought it would be.
Okay, Grandpa.
Get a standing desk.
Back in my day, they had chairs at concerts.
People coming up to you at the concert asking if your daughter's having a good time.
I was there with my niece.
Oh, that's not going to help. That's not even your fault. That just makes it way harder. Mark's right, though. Standing desks are great. I'm sitting at one right now.
Me too.
That's true. He's had a standing desk.
Oh, right. I forgot.
I've never once used the standing feature.
You gotta use it. It's so good. Once you get used to it, you just need like to tough it out for a month, and then it's totally fine. Yeah, and then you get so much more, strength in your core.
If you said tough it out for a day, I'd have been like, ooh, one tough day. That's tough, man. I don't know if I can.
Wow.
There was some dude who did a challenge. Like for a whole month, he did nothing but standing, not just at a desk, but he tried to stand every single moment except for sleeping and driving. And he was much healthier at the end of that. It turns out we humans, as being upright, two-legged creatures, are supposed to be on our 2 feet a lot more.
God gave me an ass for a reason, man. I'm gonna use it.
Well, that's the ass is for the reason of standing.
Yeah, for sitting on. Right, got it.
No.
Anyway, anyone got any more small talk? Is that all of everything? We good?
No. Unless you want to hear about my appreciation for good tripods, which I have now.
I'm 100% sure that at least someone out there, some number of listeners, was just like, oh. But I sincerely do want to hear about your love and appreciation of good tripods, because I've never spent the amount of money to get a real one. But even the distinction between like a crap one and a less crap one, I do appreciate.
So I went to a camera store when I got there because I didn't bring my tripod because it's big and heavy and, bulky, and I was just flying and I didn't think I'd be there that long. So I'm like, okay, I'll need a tripod. So I go to a camera store, and it's just a photo camera store. So they got tripods of varying qualities, and there was a good one that was like $250 that they had a good photo tripod. They were like, it's got a fluid drag head, it's got a adjustable, tension. It can angle up and down all times. And it's like, but it's one of those where it's like you have to like each section of the legs you have to extend one at a time. You got twist and lock and stuff like that. And the tripod I have at home is not even the top end one, but it's called a one-touch tripod, which means that the only control to make it taller is at the top. You one button and it can go all the way up and down.
That's kind of crazy.
This is great. It also has a real fluid drag head, which is like these photo cameras that say it's a fluid drag head, means that you twist the knob and it will be some sort of tensor when you're moving it and pushing it. But most of the time it just goes as you're trying to adjust it. Not good for movies, you know? And then but the good tripods go like $1,000, $2,000. And you're like, it's just 3 sticks that holds up my camera. No, when you got one with like a buttery smooth, absolutely finely adjustable fluid drag system with like one touch up and down, the amount of times I was moving this camera going, hop, hop, and it's like 20 pounds of camera. And you have to get it all the way up and all the way down, moving, changing, and doing these nice smooth motions and just trusting it to hold your camera, which is like an unbelievable amount of money on 3 sticks. You want 3 really good sticks. So I had an appreciation I missed my tripod so much. I missed it so much. God, I missed it. Anyway, good tripods. They actually are worth the money.
I have like the Elgato desk camera mount that like latches onto your desk, and it's fine. But like I had a nicer, I think, tripod than this thing is before that I used my camera on. Well, it's nice not to have the legs in my way anymore. I understand whenever you have to make an adjustment and like it's either like, okay, just nope. I just need to tilt it slightly. Nope. And then you go to lock it and it's like, oh, I didn't lock it quite enough.
Yeah, that's the worst part. You go, all right, it's perfect. Lock, tilt it back up, lock. It's just like, wait, stay where I put you. You have to predict where it's going to droop to. You go a little up and it goes, or you go up and it goes, I'm good now. I ain't gonna move.
You finally get it at the right droop and then it goes like fucking diagonally for some reason. It's like, haha.
Yeah. Oh man.
My favorite thing is some like rotating mechanisms will have like teeth where when you lock it down, it's like teeth that lock together. I don't know if they all work like that. But one of the ones I have, the teeth are fucked. And sometimes it's like you said, it'll droop. And so you have to like account for the droop. But sometimes you lock it and then you unscrew it, but the teeth don't come apart. And so the whole thing is just stuck and you have to like, and then it just like, it breaks free and your whole, it's awesome. I'm sure expensive, nice tripods don't do that.
No, they don't. They really don't.
This has got to be so relatable for our audience.
Yeah, no, everyone out there is absolutely enthralled right now. You're welcome.
It's a real thing for us, okay?
Everyone can appreciate, I think, that there are good tools for the job. There are decent tools that get the job done. And then there are really good tools that you need for precision.
And then there are tools that you buy at Target because you're like, I just need it for this one thing. And then you get home and you're like, man, I should have bought a real tool. Fuck.
Yeah, you waste money buying the cheap thing when you should have just paid more for something, and it'll last longer. That's the even different thing. Is like you spend more on a really good one. Most of the time, it'll last years, maybe even longer than you will.
Lots of stuff lasts longer than I will.
Good episode, Bob.
Yep, that's it.
I do have one more thing to talk about.
Oh, okay.
It's me being very stupid, right?
Well, that's always funny for us.
All right, so there's this LiDAR thing that can help you autofocus any camera. You attach it to a camera, you calibrate it. It can move the lens on its own. This has a LiDAR and it shows the distance, right? I brought that with me when I went out there. I did not open it and start to set it up until 3 weeks into the process because I was like, man, I don't want to waste a few hours setting this up. I'll probably be done and be heading home. I don't want to lose half a day getting this thing working. 3 weeks in, I had it set up in an hour and a half. It worked perfectly. First time. And this never happens when you set up something new that you've never used before.
No, that doesn't sound like a sort of thing that would be plug and play like that.
It worked perfectly. And there were so many times, like I said, when the camera was like 10 feet away, I set focus and I was like, I hope I'm in focus. And I'll tell you, I looked at some shots afterwards. I wasn't at all. I wasn't even close.
You just enhance that in post, right? That'll be fine.
Yeah. Just put the focus tool. Yeah. Sharpen it. Just crank the sharpness. So 3 weeks later, when I only had a couple days before I was heading home, discovered that it worked perfectly. I think I used it for 2 days. It's so good. I'm actually extremely impressed by that tech. It has come a long way because there were previous iterations of it that did not work as good. This is the latest one and it works really, really well.
Well, that sounds like it would have been really nice to have.
Yeah, what
All right, I'm going to start talking. And if anyone has any more small talk, you just shut up.
Wait. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to say that we're going to talk about synesthesia but it's definitely inspired by that. And if you don't know what synesthesia is, it is one example of that would be like people who hear music, hear sounds, and they associate colors with it. Like they see a color or that sounds like this color to me, whatever. But there's a lot of different like types of synesthesia. But that specific thing, I was just thinking about it, and I think it's really fascinating. And I have some music. It is royalty-free music, but I think it's interesting. I went through and I picked these out on purpose, so I hope they're interesting. We can talk about if the songs elicit anything specifically, like color. Is it an animal? Whatever. Like, is this something to you? But what I really want to do is kind of play like an improv game with it. And I want to play the snippet of song for you. And then I want you to improvise the story that you think goes with that soundtrack. Any story. And they're not long. Like the longest, hopefully, we're going to listen to is like a minute of music, but you'll get the vibe of it. And if you want to hear it again, we can play it again. And then we'll just decide I'll decide, I guess, whose fits better. I don't really have any elaborate ground rules for this. I just think it's interesting because for me, we've talked about how I have aphantasia, and I do think that's true, but music is something for me that elicits very vivid things. Not like imagery in my head, but very strong connections. Either it's something that I can imagine happening to the music, or it's some emotion or color, kind of like more like vibe. But I'm curious. We all like music here. We don't all listen to it all the time, but we like music. I'm curious what you guys will think and how our different versions of this will compare. I'm just going to play the first one, and then we'll sort of just dip our toes into this and see how it goes. And you should be able to hear this. This is what I tested earlier. Okay, there you go.
I think I got brain rot. I don't know.
I will say I did try and go very like different with all the music. So some of these I don't like, but I picked it because it was unique and very different from everything else that was on the list already. So
I'll go first because my imagination was just so stupid. It's like I didn't imagine anything vivid. What I imagined was someone had made like a hyper involved edit of a rabbit chewing on some grass, and it was just like a bunch of different like overlays and effects, like zoom in on the fucking face there, colors like rainbow shifting out there, and it was about to go nuts. Like it was like the beat was going to drop and it was going to.
Oh yeah, do you want to hear the drop for your bunny film?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, yeah. Okay.
The bunny is chewing like not very quickly or anything, right? Like,
no, yeah, it's pretty much to the beat. It's like to the beat, but slightly slower than the beat. But the editor's trying to make it work.
Oh, okay, interesting. Wade, what do you got for me? Where did your mind go?
I was in a rom-com.
Okay.
The guy and the girl are finally going to the dance together, and like he goes to pick her up, and then like they go to the club, and like all of a sudden the disco balls go and they start dancing together.
So this is like the big scene right before the first big conflict where you think everything's awesome and they're finally getting together, and then some.
Yeah. This is like all right, the date's finally happening. They go to the dance, everything's going great. Right before, some horrible thing happens that causes them to split up until they finally get back together in the end. Or a rabbit. I didn't go to the rabbit. When he said that, I was like, for what we do for a living, that's where my brain should have gone.
I don't know why my brain, that's like so many levels deep of like, it's not a thing, it's an edit of a thing and a boring thing.
No, that's exactly what I was hoping for, though, because music does that. It doesn't just conjure up like, oh, this sounds like a cheetah. It's like it's the whole scene of whatever is happening and the context of it. The hyper edit is just perfect.
I don't watch enough of these types of videos. I don't watch brain rot. I'm in trouble.
I don't have you. It's all different. It's not. Don't worry. Have you guys seen Megalopolis? Probably not. But have you seen it?
No, but there are some people that are going to go see it. I don't think I have time to, but because it's like 3.5 hours.
Have you seen the memes from it? Because there's one specific scene that is living in my head rent free right now, and I literally am restraining myself from constantly using it. It's the one where the girl is like entitled, and Adam Driver just goes, Yes, yes, yes. You want to go out to the club? It's fucking unhinged. And like, the character doesn't make any sense because as far as I can tell, his character's not like that in any of the rest of the movie. And I can't stop. Every time you guys say anything in my head, I'm like, yeah. So if I say that, I'm really sorry. But also, I can't fucking wait to see that horrible movie. I don't know if it's bad, but it's getting really bad.
I hear it might be one of the worst, least cohesive movies ever made, but also something you can laugh at, hopefully. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, next song. All right, I don't want to hear that guy sing. That's fine, but that's the vibe of the song. You can go first this time, Wayne.
Okay, I don't know why this is where my brain went, but we're starting off, right? And it's like a country setting. A guy's pulling up like his blue jeans and his cowboy boots, and he grabs a pie and just pies the first woman he walks up to, and then it's a pie to the face thing. And I don't know why, but it's just like country boy. It's like, oh, where's this going? He's walking up to the pretty girl and just fucking pies her in the face.
Well, that's not where I thought that was gonna go. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. It's what I pictured.
Okay. What do you got, Mark?
Well, mine's cliche and boring. The country threw me off there because I was straight like 80s movie music, right? So I was just like thinking of that cliche thing in either a rom-com or something where the kid's fixing up his shitty car and trying to like hope to impress the girl. And it's just a montage of him like, messing up, getting oil on himself, like, it's never gonna work. And then he hits it and it starts, you know, but that's so cliche. Where'd the pies come from?
I don't know, man.
I was watching your face and I saw the moment when the pies happened because you were all, oh.
I was just picturing, I was like, okay, there's like, for some reason, it's a guy like in a cowboy outfit. He's walking over. There's the pretty girl. Oh, why'd he do that?
I don't know if it's more correct, but I feel obligated to give you pie points.
5 points.
You get a country pie point.
3.14 pies.
But Mark also gets an 80s montage point. Keep it weird. This one, I think, if I remember how it sounds, will help with the weirdness.
Great.
Decided I can fader those out now to make it more pleasant of a cutoff for you. I guess Mark gets to go first on this one.
Yeah, I that was straight up Charlie Chaplin just in my head, specifically in my head, carrying a bundle of balloons as he was walking down like the streets of some city, and then everything was just like collapsing behind him. But I can't tell if there's a cohesive story there. I think that's just a montage of all of Charlie Chaplin's like stunts where he had things going on behind him. Seems like a silent movie kind of thing, just because you can't capture the sounds of all those calamities happening, but he's just striding down the street with his balloons.
It could have used a couple more like honks and no, I can see that. What do you got, Wade? You look weird.
Okay, man. Here's the setup. Snails are bourgeois and slugs are the middle class normal folk like us. And they've been having this feud all movie. And the slugs just want to perform, right? They've got this marching band, but they've just never quite been up to snuff. So finally this song is them coming over the horizon as the sun rises, like SpongeBob style art. And like the first snail opens up their window and looks out the shutters as the slug marching band comes down. And then as they reach the town, the real music picks up. All the snails are opening their windows, upset, but they can't even be mad because the slugs are performing so well.
That's vivid, man. That's vivid. You jealous? You jealous, Mr. Can't Imagine Things?
I could not have imagined that even if I was phantasmic.
Just glad the bourgeois snails can appreciate this.
That's when they realized they're all just slimy creatures on the inside.
I really had to thank Mark for the rabbits in the first round because it got my brain just going in the weirdest fucking places, apparently.
All right, I'm going to set my brain up for weird. I'm ready.
Come back to us, man.
It's a tough battle, but now all I can see is bourgeois snails. Sorry, Mark. I'm with you on the Charlie Chaplin. Apparently not that much.
Look, don't apologize. Here, I just wait till you hear what's in my brain next.
All right, this is gonna be kind of a needle drop. I'm gonna fade this one in at, I think, the point, this one right here. Let me see. All right, there we go.
I'm first this time.
Yes.
Okay, we're in a kitchen, and every kitchen appliance that makes something that spins or blends, it starts off and you're just watching like something like kind of satisfying. It's like something spreads out across the pan. But as it keeps going, it gets faster and faster, and shit just starts flying out and ripping and flying and making a messy kitchen.
Okay.
I don't want to say.
Oh yeah, say it. That's the game. That's the game.
So it was like a dire. It was kind of a tense music, and I just imagined like a sperm cell just swimming, and all of the other sperm cells are like being destroyed or caught, and it's like just this one just spreading needle of danger as all the others.
Like a Top Gun plane fight, but with sperm.
It just seemed like, because it was like a slow beat, so it couldn't be something super fast, but there was still danger. So it just God, this is Wade. This is your fault.
Hey man, welcome. I thought food, you thought sperm.
All right, Mark gets a danger sperm point. This is what I thought was going to happen. I love this for us. Next one, Mark goes first. Here we go.
Wait, don't think of sperm. Don't think of sperm.
This is not good for the sperm if that's what's happening. Okay. I'm sorry, Wade. I guess Mark gets to go first on this one. And I just have quite an idea in there.
It's a continuation of the sperm story where he looks around and like, where's the egg? Where's the egg? And he realizes that he's not anywhere near where he should be.
We're having a through thread now.
Oh God.
I don't know, man. I don't have anything on that. It's just Mickey Mouse on the back of a semi and like his Fantasia outfit having a duel with Donald Duck on another semi as they round a corner during a storm.
God, that's some dark Mickey.
I don't know. The sperm had a face, and it was one of those orbit cameras where he's like,
Mark, don't think sperm. Don't think sperm.
I'm trying not to.
All right. Well, you couldn't possibly think of sperm with this next one, Mark. Wade, go ahead. Enamor me.
Okay, we're starting off at like the gates of this really intricate looking kingdom, and the gates open, you're going through slowly, like approaching the castle. But as you're approaching the castle, like the intricate realism is slowly becoming a little bit more like animated and cartoony. And then the final doors to the throne room open, and it's just fucking couscous from Emperor's New Groove as that beat drop happens, and he's just fucking dancing.
Cusco?
Cusco.
Cusco.
The poison. Poison of couscous. Couscous poison.
Crisco, whatever his name is. I was already going there, and then that drop happened, and I was like, oh, now he's not just being dramatic, now he's fucking dancing as the doors open.
All right. I think. Mark?
Tonally that kind of shifted back and forth. Like it was started really like almost sad, and then it went a little bit more optimistic, and it was doing this like needle up and down. So I imagine like the hero of whatever story, kind of God of War type Kratos ascending some stairs, and it would mix between like being a boss confrontation, like, someone that he needs to fight and defeat, to a chest, because that's why I couldn't tell if it was like something where it's like, oh, there's a devastating final confrontation, to like, oh, maybe this is like going to be the thing that's going to help him along his journey. And then the beat dropped, and again, yeah, it just went weird. Like it was just like all of a sudden they just started dancing. I don't know.
Start dance. I like both of those. Can I just say that I immediately saw the sperm? I just imagine he burst into the chamber where the egg was, and the opening bit was like him like beholding the egg, but then looking around and there's still like sperm carnage happening, and then the chase is when he's like, oh, gotta go, and he like breaking for the egg again.
I'm not gonna lie, at some point it flipped between Kratos and a sperm cell walking up, but I expunged that thought, pushed it out of my mind.
My first thought was a sperm swimming to Atlantis.
God damn it.
And I was like, dude, we gotta get away from the sperm. I'm gonna go somewhere else. What else can I picture? Atlantis is a good start. Let's picture Atlantis.
Don't reject the sperm, boys. I don't remember what this next one sounds like, but there's still a possible way this could incite sperm.
Is it me first?
Yeah.
So this had like a tropical kind of vibe to it, just a little bit of it. So I thought this actually would work as like a scene in Dexter, Murderer Dexter, not Dexter's Lab, where he's cleaning up one of his kills and there's blood all over, and it's like overly cheerful to clash with like the disturbing imagery of the blood and body parts that he's gathering up and putting into bags so that he can dispose of. So just a montage again. A lot of these are montage songs for some reason.
I like that.
All right, don't.
How could this be about sperm? How?
All right, so picture a sperm.
Okay.
But in black and white, and this sperm wants to be a performer, so it starts off and it's like one of those like high school talent shows where it comes out like on a unicycle and it's like do like riding around. It's in black and white, and then like we cut to the next scene. It's doing a little bit more intricate, like juggling on the unicycle, and then now it's got a cigar in its mouth and it's doing like some light like trapeze acts, and then like I don't know, by the end it's just like full out like, oh god, what's that performance thing called where everyone's like doing all those sweet fucking trapeze and stuff like in Vegas?
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, Sperm du Soleil.
You know, cartoons with big jokes about a flea circus. He was like, this is a sperm circus. I trained my sperm.
It wasn't alone. It was alone at the high school talent show. There were others on stage with it as it went on.
Right. Okay, it's the sperm school. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Sperm Central High talent show, Mark, obviously.
I was like, please think of anything else. And then the first thing I thought of was that fucker on a unicycle.
That fucker on the unicycle. Yeah, motherfucker.
Piece of shit. Okay. I don't even have stuff to say. This is just fun. I don't know if this is going to be fun for listeners or watchers, but like I would do this as a pastime. Is this enjoyable for you guys? We're going to keep doing it either way. I'm just curious. Is this enjoyable?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Sure.
Wish I could think of something other than sperm now, but yeah, it's fun.
I believe in you. This next one, I think we'll get away from sperm once and for all. Nothing spermy about that. It's spooky because it's October.
Who's first on this one?
Wade is first.
So at first I've pictured like a lady going like down this like stone round staircase, and she gets down there and she looks down one of the hallways, and that's when the starts to happen, and there's like a weird scary almost alien face at the end of the tunnel, and then she runs back up the stairs, but now she's like just lost in a maze, like a hedge maze, and the hedge maze opens up at one point, and looking down the end of the hallway, and she sees the weird alien face, but it's slightly less scary now, and then she like turns the corner and she's out of the maze, but now she's in like a train tunnel, and then there's just like a kind of silly alien face at the end of the tunnel, and then she turns her, I don't know, every time she comes back she's in a different like dark long hallway of some type, and the alien face has somehow gone from scary to like slightly less scary to dumb to goofy.
This sounds like you're projecting your personal experience of playing horror games onto this song. You played a lot of horror games and they usually involve settings like that, but as you played them, they got less and less scary over time and more goofy.
My God, this is a therapy session.
Secret therapy, gotcha.
It's like, these are Rorschach tests.
You're schizophrenic, by the way. Let's continue.
So this was straight up a scene from Dune, or like a teaser trailer for Dune. It started off with like a very low to the ground shot on sand, and you could see them like shimmering as they blew, like a gust of wind picked up, and then you saw a foot like step into frame, and then it cut to a still low but side shot of the feet moving forward. It's like you see just like sand whip by and wisps of like their long cloak drifting in the wind, and then it would cut behind the characters. They're moving forward, slow motion, kind of just like slowly move forward, the thing whipping. You see something out of focus like in front of them that they're walking towards, and you can't quite tell, but you see like jagged objects, and then it would like smash super wide, and it's just this tiny figure walking towards a giant sandworm that's like just looming over, but he's walking towards it. And at one point there, it flipped to a sperm cell, a giant sperm cell. Not gonna lie, but I expunged it. But then it was like it was just like that's where
sand sperm.
That's where the trailer would end, and it would have like some kind of like dialogue speaking over it. This is why it's a teaser trailer kind of thing, or a very meaningful moment in the show. But that's.
It's funny. I actually hit pause right before there's a vocal track that comes in that goes. Ah! It's crazy that you brought that up.
Anyway, that's what I mentioned.
Two very different ones. I like that. I could see these things, but not literally because my imagination sucks. Next song.
This is going to be so strange. I'm first, right?
Yes.
I could not imagine anything actually happening, but in my mind was locked the basement stairs to my childhood home. Like there was nothing happening. I wasn't going up and down them, but every single time I was like, where is this going? It would just snap to another angle, or just, it wasn't even really the imagery of it. It was just like, this is your childhood basement stairs. And I couldn't tell you anymore because nothing happened. It was just like basement stairs. That was the only thing.
I had a different reaction than Mark.
Okay, it's not Mark's basement stairs.
It's not Mark's basement stairs.
Okay.
It was a black bird with a white chest. Always a side profile. You'd see one big eye and the beak. Cartoon. Wearing like an Inspector Gadget jacket and a top hat. And then like the music would doon din doon din doon din, and more birds would come in wearing the same outfit. They'd be scurrying around, and then like as the thing would slow, they would hop together, get on a bigger jacket and a bigger hat, and more birds kept coming in of the same size of the stack, and they would just increase until they were just a giant flock of birds with coats and hat.
It's like one of those very satisfying loop videos. It's constantly pushing out, and eventually all the birds form into one bird, and then it like starts over with the one bird in the hat. Ah, man, that's really funny. Mark, do you have a lot of anxiety tied up to your childhood stairs or something?
Well, see, that wasn't the thing. It wasn't the most tense song. It had like a little bit of, but it was mostly playful. And I think like what it was is like it's more of a goofy kind of song. So reminded me of childhood a bit, I think. So I couldn't tell you why. I really couldn't. That's why it was such a mystery to me at the same time. I was just like, why is this not going anywhere but right here?
I want to play one more, and I don't want to sour your opinions on this one, but I will say I fucking hate this song. that's pretty much it. There's
I don't know. I hate that. That was pretty cool. I like that.
think about the sounds in the song make my whole head hurt immediately.
Really? Oh, man.
My brain is just like, oh, turn it off.
I think you might have infiltrated my thoughts on this because like where my brain went was obtrusive DJ. So there's a guy that's just trying to live his life and he like goes outside and the DJ is just out there and he goes to a hot dog stand. The DJ pops out and starts guy's at his own wedding and like dancing and then like their song's interrupted by the DJ and then like the 8-bit like thing that comes in at the end, the like the little bleeping high pitched is him yelling at the DJ and the DJ just and the guy just won't leave him alone. Everywhere he goes in life, the DJ is there fucking playing and the guy can't get away from him. But I feel like that was influenced by you saying you hate the songs. I was like, guy who hates DJ.
Everyone hates DJs.
Everyone.
What did you see, Mark?
I saw, do you guys know Metal Slug? I imagined it was all the characters from Metal Slug, like the main ones that you can play in like a drop ship. It was just a view of them sitting, like checking their weapons, reloading their magazines or clips or whatever and then it was just like them sitting and, the ship would shake every once in a while, but it was pretty much just static, them prepping to go into battle. Cause it just reminded me of like those arcade games right before the action starts. So it just seemed like a loading screen kind of vibe to it.
Even my DJ image was like that same art style, the 8-bit or whatever it's called.
It was so weird when that it really did crunch down every imagination to just like, oh, this is 8-bit. Yeah, of course it is.
The style I pictured was also that, yeah.
Nice. All right, I may have lied when I said one more. I actually forgot I had one more that I had picked as the last one.
Oh, liar, pants on fire.
That's okay. Anyway, here you go. This is the last one. There you go.
Well, this I must be on the arcade kind of or video game vibe. This was literally the background music of a Mega Man level. So all I could see is just like it's just looping. It goes through. You're playing through the level. There's nothing like that's going to the music specifically. It's just a stage. This is the music in that stage, and you're just like going through and playing. It was fun.
This is like an 80s or 90s commercial that's like the over dramatic, like cool kid walking around looking completely fucking absurd because the thing it's advertising is like the new yo-yo. But everyone's like stopping and turning as the kid walks by, like their sunglasses are dropping. There's some like kids fighting on the side of a road, sitting there like arguing and bickering, but the cool kid walks by with the yo-yo or whatever, and they both stop, and it's like the top-down view of them going like, whoa. And just every scene is like something you wouldn't expect, or like a scene that doesn't make sense. And this kid's probably like 10 years old, but everyone's stopping to look at how cool they are with the new thing.
I appreciate that.
Can you play it again?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't.
Oh, God.
I thought you had a button prepared for in case Mark asked for a replay. Unfortunately, no.
I understand. That's fair. That's very fair, actually.
This is, I will say, the ad played because this is on SoundCloud. This was actually written by Mandy's brother, and the name of this track is Distractible Podcast Theme Song. Back when we were coming up with the idea for this show, Mandy's brother Eric makes music, and I was like, what if he made the podcast theme? And we ended up not using it. But this is the Distractible Podcast theme song.
It's a bop.
It is video gamey, but also that's one of the main things he's done is has written music for indie games that his friends and people he knows have produced and stuff. So yeah, SoundCloud, Maestro on SoundCloud. There's your free plug, Eric. Well, it's not free. You made this song, but that was a long time ago. 3.5 years ago, probably that was made. Anyway, good work, guys. That was fun for me. I hope it was fun for everyone else. I don't really care if it was fun for you too, but listeners and watchers, I hope it was fun for you. Now it's time to do that thing where we tally the points. And who I say first has no bearing on who actually wins the episode. Okay, so we're switching it up now. Mark, you earned points for Blue's Clues, In and Out of House, Birthday Points, Good Tripod, Brain Rot Rabbit, 80s Montage, Danger Sperm, Sperm Part 2, Dexter's Tropical, Dune Trailer, and Childhood Basement Stairs, giving you a total of 11 points. Wade, you earned points for Hating Jack Black, No House Tree, Standing Desk, in air quotes, Country Pies, Bourgeois Snails, Dark Mickey, Couscous Dance, Cirque du Sperm Lay, Secret Therapy, 10 Birds in a Trench Coat, Intrusive DJ, and the 90s Cool Kid commercial, giving you a total of 12 points and making you today's winner.
Yes.
So it had no bearing, huh?
Oh, I had to mix it up. I threw it out there that I was going to mix up the order, but then I remixed up the order, and I really got you on that one.
I knew the moment Mark's name came out first, I'd come out on top. Wait, is this my winner speech time? Because I don't want that to be my winner speech.
Yeah, no, that's your whole winner. You're done. That was your winner speech.
Okay.
No, I guess you could have an official. Wade, make a winner speech. Wade, congratulations.
I win.
Mark, loser speech.
That's not it.
No, that's it. Good speech, Mark.
Look, this episode cost me a lot. My sanity, my imagination, and the respect of my peers and people that watch my content, because now they peered inside my mind and they will be forever changed for peeking into the beyond.
Yeah, it's terrifying. There's a lot of sperm in there. Anyway, congratulations to Wade. Listeners, watchers, make sure you check us out on our socials and whatnots. Mark is Markiplier, Wade is Lord Minion 777 or Minion 777. I am Isker. We have merch, distractiblestore.com, and make sure you follow because then you'll get notified that when it happens. I mean, it's Mondays and Fridays, but somehow people still forget that. And the video still on Spotify. If you want to watch the video and see the exact moment where Mark realizes how obsessed with sperm he truly is, you could watch that only on Spotify.
I was going to mock you, Bob. I was like, oh, so I do a drawing episode for the watchers and I'm the bad guy, but Bob does this episode where we have to listen.
Yeah, the watchers got nothing out of this episode.
Wait, everyone listens everywhere, don't they?
Take that, idiots. Anyway, thanks for playing along. This was very fun. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And until next time, podcast out.